people are building all sorts of cool short-term rentals that could be worth significantly more than your house. Like this yurt, or that geodesic dome, or that Airstream, or this Lotus Bell tent, or even this tiny A-frame cabin. The bad news is all of these are worth significantly less than they should be. The good news is I'm going to show you why. Stick around. So I just went on Airbnb and I selected all unique stays between Williams, Arizona and the Grand Canyon South entrance, and 158 popped up. Out of these 158, I counted 7 that I know have gone through the permitting process correctly and are approved businesses in the area. And I could be wrong on a few others, but virtually every other one is not permitted in this area that are these unique accommodations. Having worked through this process to receive a conditional use permit in this area, I am thoroughly convinced that there is no other option that a legitimate business owner should take. First off, you owe it to your customers to provide them with a safe accommodation, and this includes having an accommodation available. Someone nearby is running an illegal accommodation in this area, and they're currently 3 months booked out, and the county is shutting them down. So I don't know exactly what they're planning on doing with their customers or how Airbnb is going to handle this, but it's certainly concerning that they're not able to offer this accommodation and guarantee it. Having worked through the process ourselves, we've built a relationship with our local fire chief, and he's the one that let us know that this other property had several fire violations, and that's why the county is likely going to be shutting them down as well and taking more interest in this. So this area of Arizona and Arizona in general is very prone to forest fires, and there's currently 24 of them in the state as of my last checking, and 2 people actually died fighting fires this past weekend. So this is a very serious issue that we should be considering. Secondly, you owe it to the community to go through this process correctly. It's there for a reason after all. It's there to protect the environment and to protect the forests that are prone to fires. And this is crucial to keeping everyone safe. And lastly, you owe it to yourself as a business owner to work this process the correct way. Plain and simple, a permitted business is worth potentially millions of dollars if it's an adequately sized business. An unpermitted business, on the other hand, is worth almost nothing. And this is where this key distinction comes into effect. It is up to you as a business owner to work this process the right way. Hopefully I've convinced you by now, if you're looking into this business, that you should just go through the process the right way. If not, I'm going to show you how easy it is for your neighbors, for your competitors, and for the county to locate illegal businesses. And second, I'm going to show you why the risk-adjusted valuation for your business is significantly lower for an illegal versus a legal business. So let's take a deeper dive into the details on this. And no, not the boring details that are going to make you fall asleep, but the exciting details that are going to push you through this process. It can seem like a lot of work to take on a project like this, and it is. But stay tuned to the end to find out why it's so important to go through this the right way. Hey everyone, Cole here from the AdVentureists. If you're enjoying the content, feel free to like the video below and subscribe to our channel as well to follow along with us. If you have any input or questions, concerns, leave them in the comment section below and I'd love to discuss with you. I've had the opportunity to discuss with 3 individuals their projects, and it's been fantastic. So kind of cool there since I've just started the channel recently. Anyway, back to the video. So how easy is it for someone to figure out that you're running an illegal business on your property? It's really easy, and I'm going to show you how with 2 different examples today. So someone nearby is running 7 sites. It says 9 because there's 2 more up here which are also illegal. But what I want to point out is that this process is very easy to figure out for your neighbors, for your competitors, or for the county if anyone determines they want to get you shut down. So these are the properties that they have. And again, 2 of these are up here. So if I go to the Coconino County parcel viewer, and many counties will have this GIS type system that can identify all of this, this is the property where these are located. And I can see that this is a 10.08 acre parcel that is in the general zone, or their zoning's general. So they could actually get this permitted. This is the same zoning that our property has. So if I copy their APN number and I scroll down to the bottom and I click on this online permit center, I can see a little more details on what they actually have on their property. So I can see that they have 0 applications, or 0 active applications or permits. And I can see down here that on May 4th, a little over 2 months ago, they applied for a tiny house permit. So let's go ahead and click on that and we can see what they're working with. So this was again after they were determined to be not up to code because they didn't apply for any permits in the first place when they built all this. So this says they were trying to permit their tiny house building to bring up to a livable code as required by the county. And you can see that the county required 34 inspections. It seems like a lot. So my assumption is that they had a lot of code violations on the property that needed to be remedied. And you can actually see that since they applied for this, they've canceled this. So this is either going to be for one of these domes, or it's going to be for this tiny house or tiny A-frame. And you can see these domes are made out of PVC, so I'm assuming they're not trying to get that permitted. So I think it's this structure they're trying to get permitted. So even though they've canceled this permit, they're still listing on Airbnb, which is why the county's pursuing them legally, likely, to actually get them to shut down. So this is the first example that I want to show you. The second example I want to show you is further north up here. And this is for different zoning, and that's why I want to identify it. So I'm going to look in this particular area. There's a lot of these structures, and again, these are much smaller. So this whole area is about the size of that one parcel that I just showed you. And you can see there's 18 stays that pop up here. And again, I'll just kind of scroll through to show you the type of accommodations that we're talking about here. So if I go to Coconino County, their parcel viewer again, I can just scroll up to here. Let me find it real quick. Loading slowly. So this is this general area that we're looking at. So I'll select this one first. And just to give you an idea of what someone can even do is they can just pull it up on Google Earth if it's been around long enough. And I believe this is slightly outdated, but should give you a good idea anyway. So we'll look at this parcel right here, because you can see there's a little bell tent there, and further down there's more stuff, some RVs down here that I believe are also rented out on Airbnb. And again, this is this area that we're looking at. So if I go to the parcel viewer again, I can select on one of these properties and just look a little bit into it. So this property is 1.38 acres, so much smaller than the last one I showed you. And it's actually agricultural residential zoning, which is a 1 acre minimum. So you could not get a campground permitted here, and you would not be allowed to rent out a tent anyway on this property, even if you tried to go through any processing for it. I believe you could actually get an RV that is rentable, but that would have to be a temporary use permit, and you're actually not allowed to occupy an RV year-round. And it's pretty clear that even some of these RVs on here are renting year-round. So again, they're not abiding by any sort of county standard here. So if I go to this online permit center, again, I can punch this in, and let's see what they have going. So again, 0 pending, 0 issued, 0 closed, so they have no permits on this property, and there's nothing even active down here. So in theory, this should be raw land, but based on Google Earth, you can clearly see that it's not, and that they've built some stuff here. So I'm assuming they have some sort of restroom, and they have these tents here. They have some building, or they have some decking there, I'm sure. I mean, you can see from most of these tents that they actually do have decking, which also requires a building permit, so that they can make sure that's actually designed safely. So yeah, so fairly easy for your competitors to find you, for your neighbors to find you, for the county to find you if they determine they want to. And as some of these businesses grow, they will certainly be cracking down on it. So I seem to hear a lot that because people think that this industry has been operating this way for a long time, and in our particular area, people have been operating these businesses forever without permits, that it's going to stay that way. And I just don't think that's true. Collective Retreats just got $23 million in investment, and Under Canvas has gotten similar investments. And as more money and more people enter this space, it's just going to become more regulated. And if you want to be on the right side of that, you have to do things the right way. And this isn't all negative. People just need to realize that they need to go through this the correct way so that their business can be valued properly, so it can withstand the long-term of the industry's trends. And it's important to keep in mind that valuations on these types of businesses are based on the risk associated with it. So based on my preliminary research, campgrounds, for example, operate on a 10 times multiplier, which means that if you're able to have an operating income after expenses of $100,000 a year, then your business is worth $1 million. I'm not trying just to be doom and gloom on this. I'm trying to excite you to do it the right way. This process is a process. It takes some time, but it's well worth it in the end. So thank you so much for sticking around till the end. I know this video is a little longer than usual, but I think that it'll be useful to a lot of people. Let me know below what you'd like to see more of, and I'll gladly try to do that if I feel like I know enough about it. For now, I'll talk to you later. Bye.